All right, wonderful people. Active, active. How are we doing? So let me see your comment if you can hear me. Let me see your comment if you can hear me. It is good to be here. All right. So you can see my screen. Let me see your comments. Okay, you should be seeing the chat right now. Is that correct? Okay, I can see some likes. I am fine. I am fine. Only way is up. Yeah, that's the mantra. Definitely, that's the mantra. Okay, okay, that's good. All right, so we have quite a lot of stuff to do today, and I don't want to take much of our time. Of course, it will take time. We will know life ourselves. So, first, before I proceed into the actual definition, we pended definition of sentimental analysis, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis the other day. So today, let's answer that while before we proceed, and then you will know the kind of analysis we are proceeding on today. All right, are you active for that? Are you readily active? Let me know. Let me see that comment section. Okay, I can see Adenike Balogun. A lot of people. Bread page. Okay, bread page. I need to know the meaning of that. I can see Titilayo Ayodele, Ibrahim Ayatollah, Precious, Oyekale, Okeowo, Love, wonderful people all around there. I am so happy you are joining us tonight again. Today is the third day, and you didn't give up on the first day, you didn't give up on the second day. Now, third day, you are still energized and here actively learning. That's a good. Give yourself a round of applause where you are. Drop your phone or laptop and give yourself a round of applause. You try. I mean, a lot of people joined, a lot of people started, but they couldn't. They are not with us up to this extent. That's a good one on you. That's a good one. Be proud of yourself. I'm proud of your energy. Now, analysis. Analysis is the way you detail your approach to anything you want to do. You can analyze how you sit down, you can analyze how you walk, you can analyze how you talk, you can analyze how you sleep, you can analyze how you operate your device. Everything you do can be analyzed. All right, but in this instance, we are analyzing the charts, not just anything, but the market structure, the chart. We have three ways we can now approach analysis when we want to do analysis on this chart, on this market that we are trading in Forex, in crypto, in stock, in gold, in any commodity tradable, we have three ways we can do our analysis. The first is the fundamental analysis. Now, what does this fundamental analysis means? It is the economic, social news of any country that you are trading their currency. Whatever they do in real life terms, will affect their currency on this chart, and you'll see it there. What do we mean? Anything Nigeria is doing currently now, it will have effect on the naira currency if you go and check it on charts. Let's use a more realistic one. You would have been hearing news about USA if you are an economic person, and if you are not, currently there are some shutdown ongoing in the USA. Because of that, it is affecting their currency, and we are seeing it now. This shutdown is due to some funds not being released to operate, some stuff, some agencies, and it is affecting them. That means their currency will be weak. So when the economy now, let me give another example. If Nigeria today should host World Cup, World Cup, if they should host World Cup, when people will come in, there will be more interactions, there will be more transactions, there will be a lot of stuff will be going on. That will influence Naira to pump. It will gain strength. That is what it means by it will pump. So those are fundamental, they are real life stuff, but then it will increase the Naira strength. So those are fundamental stuffs. When Trump attained the presidential post, there was difference from when Biden was operating before. Those are fundamental stuffs. So economic news, how transactions are going, import and export, GDP rates, a lot of all those stuffs affect the currency. As you know, everything they do in any country is being operated by currency, is being run by currency. It is run on currency. So everything will have effect on it. Do you understand that? Now, the second is this sentimental analysis. I want to use the technicals to round it up and then proceed on what we want to do tonight. The sentimental analysis is when, now, you would have heard people say you are being sentimental, you are being judgmental. So, sentimental means when when the market respects human feelings or human say. What do we mean? Not like any random person, actually. As an instance, if Trump or Elon Musk or Warren Buffett, if they should make a post today on any crypto, especially you see the sentiment, it affects crypto most times. But if they should make a post about something tonight, it will have effects on that thing on the charts. As an instance, there were as far back as 3, 4 years back, I could remember very well. Elon could just come online and post and make a random post. Probably he's just catching cruise with his own daily life. And people will, those that have been in the space for a very long time, can testify to what I'm saying now. And he just made a random post, and then a coin about that cruise he made will be created. Just random coin will be created. And because Elon made a tweet about it, and that coin will pump. He personally might not even know about it. He might not have idea about the coin. He might not even put money there. But because he made post about it, some people that have the money they now acted on his feelings, on his say, and that will pump money into that coin, and people will make money. So do you understand that? That is sentiment. When market react to people's feelings, people's talks, people's idea. All right. Now the third is the technical analysis. Technical analysis. This is the one you use your trading view app to do, that I mentioned during the first day and yesterday. All right. This is when you use market structure, indicators, and other factors on the TradingView app or website to analyze, to arrange your plan, to arrange your operation, your buying or selling on your MT5. So that's your technicals. When you use the past market structure, the past records on the charts to speculate what you will do next. Now, this technical analysis is one of the one that takes a lot of time. Why? Because you can see it. Unlike fundamentals, fundamentals react per when they release it. One of the websites you can get that is my FX book or forexfactory.com. It is not an easy thing to analyze. So if you want to focus on that, it is another thing entirely. But we are not going there tonight. What we are attending to is technical analysis. We want to be able to because what you see these fundamentals also, or even sentiment, whatever they do, whatever their reaction is, you will see it on this chart also. All this green and red candle you can see, it is all of those info, all of those data that is being represented here. You remember when our teacher in secondary or primary school, they will give us word problem and ask us to use all of those stuff to answer it, and we will put stories into pie chart, and anyone with pie chart knowledge can be able to decode what we meant, and they can understand it. Do you remember? Can you relate to that? Let me see your comment if you can relate to that. You can relate to word problem of stuffs like that. It is the same thing here. So all those fundamentals that are like what problem, this chart will also tell you what it means. So you will see it there. If dollar is our strength, you will see it on this chart. You will see it on this chart. Everything it is doing, you will see it there. Everything it is doing. So are we active? Are we active? Let me see our comments. Let me see our comments. Are we together? Are we on the same page? Let me be sure of that. Let me be sure of that. All right. So first, we'll be starting with the technicals. It starts, everything has a base. That's where they start from. It has where it starts from. All right. I can see the response already. Ahmed Samad, Titilayo. Okay, very good. Active. Vicky is here. Brian is here. Ahmed is here. Brett Paid, Precious, fully active. Okay, a lot of people, wonderful people. I love the energy. Adenike, Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now let's go. Let's go. Active, active, active. I love that. I love that. All right. So now, when we talk about technical analysis, the base of that knowledge is candlestick. Take it as before you are able to do the pie charts, the histogram, all those stuff that I mentioned, you must understand mathematics. You must understand numbers, one, two, three. You must understand English. You must be able to read the sentence before you can now say, let me now interpret it in whatever term they want you to use it. Do you understand? Now, these numbers and letters in this instance is candlestick. So it means that where the knowledge of this starts from is what? Your candlestick. So you see each of these things you are seeing on your chart. I will expand my chart now. You see each of these things you are seeing, each of them like this, they are candlestick. They are what? Candlestick. 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 All right, before we proceed too deep, let me let me ask something. Today is Friday. What do you expect the market to do tonight? What are you expecting? Today is Friday. What do you expect the market to do tonight? I want to see our response. And what time do you expect it to happen? So I will know you are fully active or not. So today is Friday. What are you expecting the market to do? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Okay, good, good. Okay, someone said close. Okay, let me use name. Adenike said Adenike said close. Rhyme said red to fall. Okay, why do you want it to fall? And why do you want it to fall? Bread Pay said market should close. Exactly what I want to hear. Exactly what I want to hear. Tonight, Friday, 10 p.m., market will do what? Market will close. And when next will it open? Monday, 10 p.m. Sorry, Sunday Eve, 10 p.m. That's when market will open. Wonderful. It shows you are with me 100%. I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, let's proceed into let's now we'll also check it out and we'll know how to time what's going to happen. So each of these things are what? Candlesticks. They are candles. They are candles. Now, what determines when a candle will open or close is what we call time frame. Time frame. Now, if you look to this section of my screen, you can see 15 minutes, 15 m, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour daily. It means on every these things are time frame. Time frame. What frames the time each candle will open and close? Now, how does this operate? It means on every time frame you are on, you put it on. Every candle there takes that time to open and close. Now that we are on 4 hours, it means every candle here takes how long? 4 hours to open and close. How do you know the remaining time? Look at this section here. These are the section of price. You can see 1.179, 1.17800. Now, if you look at the current price that the market is on, which is 1.17409, you can see there is a timer beneath. It is remaining 1 hour, 41 minutes, and the seconds are counting. Can we all see that? Can we all see that? So that is time frame, and the prices are what you can see there. Remember, I said currencies are being sold or bought per price. So this is where you read the price beside it, and then you go to the time frame zone to check. Depending on the time frame, you decide to make your analysis. There is no permanent time frame to use. You use everything. All right, you will use everything depending on the kind of trader you are. You will use everything to make up your story to understand. Okay, now I understand what market will do. Let me now act accordingly. Let me read the chat box again to be sure my people are with me. Okay, I can see more activeness. I can see more activeness. Let's go. Let's go into this deep. I'm super active to be here. All right, now I've said it earlier that each candle here, the time frame controls it. Now you will see two candles on your screen. We have the green and we have the red. What do they mean? If you've been with me all through, you will notice that most of the things we have in this forex market are usually in twos. We have the bullish market, we have the bearish market, we have the bulls, we have the bears. We have an uptrend, we have a downtrend. You can see they are in twos. You have a ranging market, we have a trending market. So it means all these candles too, they are in twos. Now, the red candle at D4, the red candle means the bears candle equals the bears candle. The bears candle. That is the candle that the sellers are the one that are in charge. And the green equals what? Who can say that? The bulls. Bulls. I guess that's also what he said. Bulls. Bulls. All right. It means the bulls. Now, how do you know when candle will be for great and when it will be for the bulls? Remember, these people are they, you don't see them, but you want to understand what they are doing with what you are seeing on your screen. Is that not amazing? Can you see the level of knowledge? All those, you can see that there are a lot of things that goes into being a forex trader than just whatever you've been picturing it to be. There is work here. Oh. Don't think it is just vibes and inshallah. No, 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 no. There's a lot of work here. There's a lot of work here. There's a lot of work. A whole lot of work. Good, good, good. I'm loving the responses so far. All right. So now, let me first of all answer that question you have in your mind. How do I know if a candle will be bullish or bearish? Now, take this line I draw as my entry, the starting point. Let's say this is where market is currently. Market is at 1.16492. Is at that price. All right. So I'll be using this to explain, to assume a candle. This rectangle, I'll be using this rectangle to assume a candle. If a candle should open here, let's say this is the entry, this is where it starts. If it should open here and it pumps up, it goes up. Now you remember time frame is what guides it, is what we tell when it will close. And the time frame of that candle has now end. It has come to an end. Let's say it is on 15 minutes and then 15 minutes is over. And the candle is still Shomba. Are you with me? Are you with me, Omoba? If a candle should open and close above where it opens, it closes above. Okay, bí tó ti open low close, you see. That's what? That's a bullish candle. And the color will be what? The color will be green. Let's paint this green. Yeah, that's a green. Green. Abi, is it not green enough? That's green now. In it. Oh, no. We'll use that like that. That's green. That's green. All right. So now, if a candle should now open, you already know now, if a candle should now open here and it closes below where it opens, what color will it be? It will be red, and that's what? That's a bearish candle. If that's what you also say, that means you are on point and you are on the track of becoming a very, very good, profitable trader. Give yourself some accolades, man. You're trying. It's not easy. Candlestick. That's what you've just understood. So now you know the difference between a bullish candle and a bearish candle. A bullish candle is a candle that closes above where it opens. If a candle should open at 100 naira and it closes at 200 naira, that's above where it opens. That will be what? A bullish candle. And that means that the bulls are in market. You remember who you defined the bulls as in the assignment that you were given, that they are the one that moves the price up. So you now know the correlation. And also, how do you know the bears? When the bears pick a price from above and they dump it, that's the bears. So if they pick the price from 500 naira and then you later meet the price at 100 naira, it is the work of who? The bears. Now, also, let me tell you something. It is not like the bulls are not in market when the bears are forming this candle. It is not like they will go and sleep. Everyone is still in the market. Remember the simultaneous buying and selling that we talked about. So they are still there, but it just means that the bears override or they overturn the bulls in forming this candle. That's why it ends up as a bearish candle, same as these bulls. So it means the bulls overturned the bears, and that's why it turns out like this. Now, because of the other party that are in the market, how do you know their influence? You know, we can't just erase their history in forming this candle, or can we do that? We can't. So how do we now know, okay, the bears also did something? Then we now see what we call weak. There's now what we call what? Weak. All these things we'll still identify them on the real life chart. I'm just using this to explain, so we'll be on the same point. We understand that before we go to the real life chart. This is what, this is the week. This is the week. Now I will explain how a week forms. Remember I said whoever pushes the price up is the what? The bull. Whoever drags the price down is the what? Is the bears. Now, and also what we determine the extent of the height of this week is what? Wherever the market got to before the time frame elapses. So let's assume this candlestick now it opens here, but before it goes up, it has come down to this extent. Market has reached before the whoever took, in this instance the bulls drag it back up. So if the bulls drag it up to this extent again, and then it sold a little, the bears drag it down a little. What we tell you that this market will reach here before they drag it down again is what? Is the week that you will see. So weeks are footprints to tell you where the market has reached. They are like gossiper that, oh, this market got to this extent before it later close at this extent. And now you already know what determines when a candle will close, which is time frame. Don't forget. All right? Fantastic. So also, in this bearish candle instance, if a candle should open here and it pumps to this extent before the sellers finally grabs it, it's what we tell you that it has reached this extent is the week you will see there. And if it's sold to this extent before the bulls drag it again, what we tell you that it has gotten to that extent is what? Is the bears. Do you get it? Do you understand now? Now, with this illustration, let me now define Forex the way my mentor usually define it. He will say that Forex is the battle between the bulls and the bears. You can see that they keep dragging it, they keep dragging it, they keep dragging it. That is exactly how Forex markets operate. They keep dragging it. No one has it at any point in time. They keep dragging it, they keep dragging it, they keep dragging it, and that's just how it is. And it never stops. It never stops. All right? It never stops. Hold on a bit, fam. Hold on a bit. Let me allow you digest that before we proceed, before we cite some examples on the real life charts, and then we talk about that. You can't hear me clearly? You might just need to exit this call and join again. My mic is working because I am tracking everything here. Can others hear me? Please let me know if it's the only one having that issue, but my mic is working because I can track it here. Okay, people can't hear me again. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me right now? Oh, Kelvin said how I wish this class is not ending tonight. Of course, it won't end here because Forex is bigger than what we can explain in 3 days. How the other classes will continue will be announced tonight also. So if you don't really want to miss out on anything, you should join us. You should join us. Some knowledge are too huge to just be put out anyhow. Yes, and you will get to know how the further classes will go ahead. Okay, people can hear me. People can hear me already. So I want to be sure you can hear me right now. Okay, so let's proceed now. Now let's look at some real life charts to understand things better. Now let's look at this example here. Look at this green. Can you see this candle? It means that this candle opened here and then did what? It went up. It closed here. Yes, sorry. Open of this price, and this is the close. And these are the works. These are the what? These are the weeks. This is the week. Oh, all right, all right. Before I forget something, let me quickly highlight how to label a candlestick. I almost forgot that. Okay, let's label this candle together. Are we ready? So this is what we call the body. The body, excluding the wick, is called what? The body. Now this, the wick, is what we call wick. Wick or shadow. SHODW. All right, good. So, and then we call, since this is where this candle opens, we call this the open. And let me reduce the sizes. Okay, we call that the open, and we call this close. So do you understand now? It opens here, it closes here. This is the wick, and this is the body.
You understand?
Hmm?
Yes, I can pay for it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So let's do for this too. Fantastic. So this is the open for this. This is where it opens. A bearish candle will usually close where it will usually close below where it opens. Don't forget that. When it closes below where it opens, that's bearish. When it closes above where it opens, that's what? That's bullish. I trust you understand that already. So do you get the labeling? Are you jotting things down? Are you jotting things down? Are you jotting things down? You definitely need to jot things down. All right. So now let's go to the real chart. So all these tiny lines you can see here, they are the what? They are the wicks. These are weak. These are weak. Then these are the body. You can see those ones that have the color. They are the body. Now take a look at this candle that is currently forming. It is raining 1 hour 26 minutes and some seconds now. You can see that. What tells you that? What is this week? How does this week? What does it means? What how does it form? It means that this market sold. This the BS took it to this extent before the bulls drag it back to this up. So if this candle should close above where it opens, that means it will be what? It will be green. But if it should cross where it opens and start trending coming down, it will be what? You will see it turn into a red color. All right, it will immediately turn into what? A red color. So now that we've understand how a candlestick open and close, can we go on to the next, which is market structure? When these candlesticks now come together, now you've all we initially said was like saying A, B, C, D. Now you know that. Now let's make a sentence out of it. Let's make a sentence out of it. As you all know that sentences can vary. We have 2 letter words, we have 3 letter words. They come together to form full sentences. Even full sentences, there are short sentences, there are paragraphs, there are lots more of those things. So we'll be highlighting the simplest one that you can put together, even with this class alone, to make a decision on the market. Trust me, that's what we want to do. So when this candle come together, series of candles, multiple candles, when they come together, multiple candles, candlestick, when they form together, they form what we call structure. They form what we call what? Structure. Market structure. All right, they form what we call structure, and that's what we are talking about now. So now imagine lots of candles have come together. What they form is structure. Before I use the real life chart, I'll be using this part to explain it, what the structure looks like. So this structure moves like this. You see this line I'm drawing, it's a series of candlesticks coming together. They will sell and it will buy like this. You see this One, two. This leg is what? For structure. So structures are now one bit and one me. They are now, they are now from one, we have two, we have three, we have four. All right. Okay. I am reading some comments again. All right, I can see some yes. That means we are all together. We are all together on the same page. All right. All right. So now, remember we said a market that knows where it is going, that have a direction, is a bullish trend. It's a trendy market. It's a trendy market, and in a trendy market, we have uptrend and we have downtrend. So those are the two we will be talking about today. We'll be talking about that too. So when a candle, because of course you don't want to be in the market that doesn't know where it is going. As a trader, you don't have no business trading the ranging market. When the market doesn't know where it is going, when it is indecisive, you also stay out. When the coast is clear, you ride. That's You see what I just said now. Take it dearly to your heart. Don't forget. Write it on top of in front of your trading station or wherever you learn. Do not trade when the market is not trending. It's as simple as that. Now we have two trends. How do we now know these two trends? How do we identify them? Remember, this is just one structure. When market do this, we have just one structure. All right. Now, when these multiple structures now come together, that is when they form trend. That is when you will be able to know where they are going. How do you now define where it is going? Also, before I proceed, let me also tell us that you see this tip here, this turning point here is what we call market structure. Structural point. Pay attention. It is what we call what? Structural points. You need that structural point so that you'll be able to identify where the market is going. Now, if a new market should form here now and it drops, structural point. This turning point again is another what? Structural point. All right, that's another structural point. So if this should continue again like this is another structural point. That's another structural point. If this should continue again like this, that's another structural point. So the structural points keep is the turning point that you want to focus on. Also, this is also a structural point here. This The turning points are structural points. They are structural points, and they have reason and they have what we will use them to do. Because with those structural points, that is exactly what we will be using to identify where the market is going at every point in time. So are you with me? Are you with me? Are we together? We are about 34 minutes and almost 35 minutes into this class. And we don't want it to be too long so that whenever you come back to watch it again, you will understand. So let's proceed while we hasten up ourselves. Now let's make meaning out of this stuff. Before I go there, let me quickly I'll mention something called break of structure. Another thing is break of structure. Now, what work will this break of structure do for you? It is with break of structure that you'll be able to identify where the market is going. And when a trend is continuing, it is how to know where the market is going and where when a trend is still in progress. Are you listening? I don't want to delete anything. Let's just go on a new page. There's a lot of page on this chart. All right. So now let's make sense out of something. Now, when this trend has come together, we have this first structural point. We have this first structure. Now it has come out to create a new low. If this new new high, I'm not talking about highs and lows. I'll still explain those ones. If you should take out this last structural point here, this up one, we have this structural point and we have this structural point. But if this new and this structure that is forming, if you should take out this one, this last structural point to this upside, it means what? We have an uptrend. We have a break of structure to the upside, and that simply means what? We have an uptrend. So to have an uptrend, we need to see market break the structural point to which side? To the upside. Market must break structure to the upside. So if this market should break this structure to this upside again, what do we have? How do you now label break of structure? You pull a trend line and draw it at this structural point to wherever market touches it. And that is your what? This line is your break of structure. Let's label it BOS. How do you label? You just double click that trend line that you draw and it will be labeled for you. All right. So this is another break of structure. Now, with the knowledge of this structural point that we have, that should already now tell you that if this market should now eventually start taking out this low, this structural point at this bottom here, what do we now have? We have a downtrend. If market start taking out structure, it start breaking structure to the downside, what do we have? We have a downtrend. Are you with me? We have a downtrend. So when market start breaking structure to the, what do we have? We have a downtrend. We have a downtrend. So this is a very basic element, and you should be able to understand what we're saying. So do you understand that now? This is an uptrend. Uptrend. And now that the market is not taking out the lows, that's what? A downtrend. And let me tell you something, these two things is what makes up the market: uptrend and downtrend. That's what makes up a trendy market. So let me see some comments if you are on the same point with me. Higher low, very good. Now I can see my people here. I like I said earlier, I won't be going deep into some aspects because I don't want to confuse a lot of us. All right. So we'll scrape most things from it. Of course, when even if you identify higher low and you just know the labeling, it is when you execute that you make money. So even now, the knowledge you are acquiring right now, if you're a total newbie, the knowledge you are acquiring right now is not enough to say, let me fund and start trading. You will blow your account. Calm down and learn fully. You can't understand Forex in 3 days. That's why it is a free class. And of course, there will be more opportunities like this coming up. So you want to stay focused on this page and just pay attention to a lot of stuff. Pay attention to a lot of stuff so you learn. All right. Now let's go back. Let's now start using the market structure itself so you know how to read it. Now, for you to read the market structure, you need to zoom in and zoom out so you'll be able to see a whole lot of stuff. And then you need to start from the higher time frame. Higher time frame. Do you get that? Higher time frame. Now we can see a lot of structure in the market, but let's pick out of them to use. Now let's take it from here. You have this as an eye that creates this on this knowledge because there's a way to identify valid break of structure. Now you can see that this market has come back to create a new low to then create a new high, which now form what? A break of structure. So now let's line out the break of structures. This is a break of structure here, and we have another one here. Now, what does this break of structure tells you? It tells you the market trend. So it means that if this market will continue being a bullish trend, you want to see market break this last high because that's your last structural point. So if this market should break this last high, then it means that we are still what? We are still in a bullish market. Are you with me? We are still in a bullish market. I'm gonna make reference to anything. That's why I don't want to delete a lot of stuff right now. So let me allow that sink in. Do you understand up to that point? Do you understand up to that point? So this is looking like a little bearish leg, but let's look for a proper bearish to use as an example. All right. So I can see one right here. Let's use this as an example. Overall, this pair has been bullish. If you can see that. But around there, we can still see something. So you can see that this market creates this high, that creates this low, that creates this high, that creates this low. So it means we now have what? A break of structure to be valid. For you to know a valid structure, everything in this market, let me even tell you, there's always the valid one and there's the invalid one. Such that if you mistake the invalid one for the valid one, that's when you lose money. So one thing you want to focus on is which one is valid. That's the question you want to always ask. Is this the valid one? So that I will know the difference. It is when you see people complain, it is because they are trading the invalid ones. How do you know a valid structure? A valid structure must, I didn't say me, must either write V like this, V shape like this, or A shape like this. It can either have these two. It must write it properly, not just candlestick that just you can look at what we have here now. This is an example of a ranging market. You can see all these candlesticks, they just juggle up together. They are not going anywhere until this one now comes in. So a ranging market is just this tip now. So these are not structural. You want to see it form this high, low. You can see that's a V shape. You want to see it form this, all right, that's an A shape. So I just give you one premium info. Make sure you take that properly and you let that sink in. All right, so back to what we're doing. So now let's identify the break of structures in this downtrend. We have a break here. We have a break here. I don't want to make all this knowledge free. I'll just tell you how to identify a valid break of structure. Because not everything is also valid. Yeah, not everything. Everything in this market is not valid. Now you can see those break of structures. That is how to identify the break of structures to the downside. So up to this point, let me know if you understand right now. Let me know if you understand right now. So now you know when the trend is bullish and you know when the trend is bearish. Is that correct? We have five. Okay, we have 5 more minutes till we have 9 more minutes till 9 p.m. Okay, let's see how many people are still here. All right, good. All right, good. All right, good. Fantastic, fantastic. So at this point, I would like to take in questions right now on what we've done so far. All right. So the other aspects now you understand how candlestick open and close. You understand time frame. You understand how to read the prices and how to know the remaining time left. All right. You can see you understand. We've taught a lot of stuff today. Now you also understand the kind of trend we have and how to identify them, how to label break of structure, and how to identify a valid structure and an invalid one, which a valid one is the one that has a V shape or an A shape, and the invalid one are just the ones that are just candlesticks that are just beside one another that did not really form that V shape. Now you know that, all right? So there are other aspects to this knowledge, definitely. We have a whole lot of stuff. Let me give you a glimpse of some of the other aspects that contribute to a trader's mastery. We still have an advanced class, definitely, and yeah, it will be like that. So now these are some of the advanced course outline. We have the retailer concept, summary of all of this beginners class. Everything we've been doing so far will still be summarized again. We will take it from scratch again to those that join our advanced classes. Introduction to chart analysis, how to read the chart, candlestick patterns, support and resistance, which is one of the essential way you can trade to pick your trade idea, trend identification, how to know what trend you are on, and how to plot a good trend line, how to draw a trend line, market structure, identifying chart pattern, multi-time frame analysis, how to identify valid structures, valid zones to pick your trade from, trading confluences, the trend line strategy, engulfing pattern strategy, and risk management 1.0. All right, that's the first one. Then we have the phase two, which entails market cycle, structural points, break of structure in detail, the liquidity concept, identifying liquidity grab zone, retail kills zone, avoiding liquidation. That's something liquidation is when market blow you. You don't want to be in there. How to avoid it figuratively and technically on the trading view and in your account. All right. Identifying valid order blocks, mitigation, types of inducement. We then will teach a lot of entry techniques, all right, to help you pick some good entries in any trade you are on. Demand and supply, identifying valid demand and supply. And then my secret entry, chief secret entry, key zone, change of character, advanced risk management. We did the risk management 1.0 in phase one. Then we'll talk about the advanced risk management here. That's risk management and all over, all over. All right. Then we help you map out a trading plan and also fundamental analysis and how to catch high probability trades. Look at all of these things that there are still yet to be learned by you. And one of these things that I just list out could be the reason you haven't started making money from the market yet. And you need to know them because half knowledge won't serve you forever in this market. You need to understand everything in details. So if you are interested in advancing your knowledge on the market structure, on Forex in general, and trust me, what I teach, we have students that trade synthetic, that trade crypto, that trade stock. It can be used in all markets. I personally trade Bitcoin, I trade crypto, I trade synthetic, and I trade Forex market. All right. So it is a universal knowledge that you can use in any market. Okay, so if you are willing and ready to further more your knowledge, you don't want to keep wasting money to the market. You want to start making some of yours also. You definitely need to sign up for our advanced class. You need to sign up for our what? Our advanced class. All right, our advanced class. You need that. Hold on a bit, fam. You need to sign up, and it comes at a cost because we don't just want people to join. You can see this one, there are a lot of people that join. There are a lot of people that join. We have a lot of people. Even right now, some people are just exiting the class. Exiting the class. So we definitely want to attach, not really interested in growth, but those that are ready to grow in this knowledge and make something of themselves out of the market. They are tired of funding and wasting money and losing money, and now they want to start making it for themselves. Yeah, they are the one that we are not talking about. They are the one we are talking about right now. So if you are one of them, you definitely want to advance your knowledge in this forex market, and it is going to be tagged at a price. We are trying not to be very to not to have a price that is too much, because I know most people that wants to start trading don't really have the money yet. All right, they don't. Most people are not yet rich to afford some kind of classes. We now have even some of our classes. We have classes $1,000, and lots more of classes like that we host. But for the sake of this aspect of this knowledge, we want to make sure there are more people in. So you get to see daily interaction with Chief himself, understand the market realistically, not just things that you don't need. So a full mentorship mentorship is coming up, and it is tagged masterclass 1% of the 1%. So if you want to partake in that, if you want to join that, uh send a DM to our admin on WhatsApp. The price is tagged at 50,000 naira. That's not too expensive, and it is not too cheap. At the price everyone can join. You have phone worth 450k, 200k. So if getting the knowledge that can make you afford other stuffs, expect that this price, you definitely don't want to miss it. You definitely don't want to miss it. All right, you definitely don't want to miss it. So to further your knowledge on these aspects, this is exactly what you need. This is exactly what you need. So when you're ready, and don't forget we have just 50 slots open, and even before this class there are some pre-admission that we are running already, that we were running. Some persons have already made payment for their own class. They've booked their seat. So if you don't want to miss out on this, make sure you send a DM right now, or you copy the account number showing on your screen, 8141124277 money points, and you make a deposit of 50,000 naira into the bank with the name of Ibrahim Ayomide Odetunde, and you admission will be processed instantly. All right. And that is exactly what you need. And with that, trust me, what the 1% of the 1% knows that keeps them profitable in this market, you will definitely understand it. And it is not just about the knowledge, it is about the growth that is definite. You can see some of our students' result that we do post, some on IG, they are growing, and you too must grow. All right. There is something out of this market that you can make out for yourself. This is what I've been using to solve my living for as far back as 2, 3 years back. So that's really, really convenient for anyone. And if that is life for you also, you definitely need to grab this opportunity right now. At least if you check all around, a lot of people now charge exorbitantly for class, but we are still fixing a price like this to accommodate as much as 50 people. We don't exceed 50. Even usually our class doesn't exceed 20, but now we have lots of requests, and that's why we extend it to 50. So if you are snoozing, you might lose. So you definitely want to grasp your opportunity right now. And the master class run for 60 to 90 days, but the class doesn't end there. Afterwards, okay, I can see. Can we deposit now? Definitely. Admission starts right now. So send a DM to us on WhatsApp, copy the account number you are seeing on your screen, make the payment, and send your payment receipt instantly. And your admission will be processed instantly. What if more than people pay? We are not admitting more than 50 people. Admission is going at 50 slots alone. So Ahmed Samad, if you're ready, you should send a DM. A lot of people are already sending. All right. So, and that is that on that. That is that on that. So when you are ready to fulfill and extend your knowledge, you definitely know what you have to do now. So now I don't want to hear, I don't know, I'm still losing, and some of you have the money now, but you won't. Instead, you blow it. You want to grow it, but now you blow it and you start crying. It's your loss. Go for the knowledge. I told you something on the first day. Knowledge, money follows knowledge. Use what you have now to fill in your head. Your head will fill in your pocket at the end. Take that as an advice for me. If there's no more question from us, let's call it a night. Our class is usually 1 hour. I don't want it longer than that. So, good night, everyone. If there's no more question, God bless us. God bless us. Take care, fam. Bye.